All right, this one, I got two guys together because they came, like E.J. Speed left and Kenny Moore came in. So we've got E.J. Speed, then Kenny Moore, two guys who have been stalwarts on this defense for a while. E.J. Speed, of course, a linebacker, Kenny Moore, the nickel cornerback. These guys coming back to this team and intact. That defense returns all 11 starters. And then you add Latu, and so questions about Latu, questions about maturity, questions about development year over year, all really good stuff with E.J. Speed and Kenny Moore.
TJ, what would you like to see Zaire get rewarded? I know you all had that really tight bond this offseason, so what would you like to see him get rewarded? I mean, how has that maybe motivated you to just attack this year and yourself to continue to grow and obviously get rewarded?
That's dope because me and Zaire kind of like got similar stories coming up as special team players and getting opportunity on defense and excelling. So to see him become and get an extension and become a coach like for a longer term, whether like at the end of his deal it'd be like year 7 or 8 as a coach, and you know hopefully he can extend it. From talking to him, I can tell he wants to be here. So that was everything.
You guys had a lot of bodies you could throw at people on the defensive line in front of you last year, and then they go and they add Latu in this draft. What do you think that line can be this year, and how does that trickle back to the rest of the defense?
It's everything. The energy there, like even when in our spring workouts now, the energy from the D-line to the confidence inside with Buck, Roll, Raekwon back. You know what I'm saying? They got some young guys that's going into their year too. So with Latu, is am I saying his name right?
Latu, yeah.
With Latu coming in and seeing his film, this is getting scary. A whole bunch of tips and overthrows, you feel what I'm saying? So sacks, tips, overthrows, man. We ended some games last year with sacks, and we still got Sampson, so just, man, that front line is everything. It's probably the best front line to play with.
Thanks. What was your primary focus before you guys got back in the building? Where were you doing the majority of your work, and what were you really invested in?
I was down in Dallas with my trainer, Mo Wells. We do a good job of just working on the explosion, all the balance and stuff, just early stuff going on, and then we come out here in OTAs and play football. And I don't want to give away my secrets, but it was a good off season, and I reached some goals and stride. You know what I mean? It was cool.
Where can you tell the biggest difference when you're back on the field now?
Just a lot of quickness. I worked on that all season.
EJ, what have you learned over your career about what makes for a successful OTA period for a player?
Just the time for a player or just a team or both?
Just
I give you both.
Yeah.
For a player, it's just just honing in on the things that you need to correct from last season, and just coming back better. Most of the time, the stuff that you need to correct is the stuff that can take you to the next level. So just getting better at what you're already good at, and then working on the things you need to correct and become good at them. And it's a fight that goes on beyond OTAs. I mean, you take it into camp and work and all that type of stuff. For a team, it's just gelling, like everybody just being around each other and creating that bond for everybody, because there's new guys in the building. So just creating that bond and that trust and the want to for each other to go out and just do everything that we need to do on Sunday.
You guys have said like getting more takeaways is a focus for this year, kind of with what you just said there. How does this period help you build a foundation to get those takeaways?
Just focusing in on the stuff that we need to do to get the takeaway, just analyzing how offenses attack us and just working on those things, and just getting a better understanding of the defense. I mean, adding on pieces that we need from the offseason. The draft is a big way for takeaways. Everything plays a part, so I think we're heading in the right direction in that aspect.
I saw the podcast clip with you and Z talking about you can't talk until you make a play.
Yeah.
So I guess, how does it feel to grow from that to now that you are that voice in the room, you are a leader, you are a starter, like what's that maturation doing?
It's crazy because that same situation still follows you, because every year is a new year. You know what I mean? We in a room full of high achievers, so anything that you did last year, so what have you done for me lately? Anything that you did last year really don't even matter. To gain the right to talk, you got to go out and make plays again, and not just in practice in the game. So it's everlasting, but especially when you know what I mean, everybody got the confidence that they're that guy, then you just run it down on special teams. So when you go down, especially when you make your play, talk a little bit more trash in the next one for sure.
Have you squashed your Twitter beef with Matt Conti?
No, I haven't. Conti has to change his profile picture. Matter of fact, I didn't put you on a fine, bro, man.
Interesting.
Absolutely. It's a Colts helmet.
It was a great shot. Are you a Knicks fan?
No, I'm not. I'm not a Knicks fan. It's just
That's a great question.
It's just that. Listen. Him and Zaire helped us everybody all year, because the Sixers are a great regular season team. They get in the playoffs, and you know how that goes. So now this is my time to show Conti that stop doing it.
And who's your team for the record?
The Mavericks.
And who else?
The Mavericks.
And who else?
And when you from Texas, you can support all the other teams in Texas,
Yeah, there
but
you
you have to be a fan of one.
Spurs and
So you know what I mean? I'm not a hater when the Rockets and the Spurs doing that thing. I give them their props, but you know what I mean? I'm a Mavs fan all the way.
For the record,
Playoffs and conference watch
This has
same-
gone off. This is going off.
I agree. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. You can't be. They hate on sports teams that's right down the street.
Thanks, CJ. Yeah, come on.
Real quick, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
one last one, Jalen. What do you think about adding Jalen Powell to this room and what he could possibly bring to the linebacker?
From what I understood, he's a tall, long, athletic guy. I think he'll do great. Bala has. I had all the confidence in Bala when he drafted linebackers. You know, everybody that I played with that he drafted is on doing good things. So I don't put any doubt behind Jalen. I talked to him through via text, and he seems like he's ready to work. So when he get here, I'll be there for him anything he need, and we'll just lock in. And hopefully, we can get him to a good review.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Good job.
Kenny Moore, right? Great job. Fantastic.
Talking basketball, we got a little sidetrack.
Yeah, I'll let y'all have that.
What is this? Year is this?
It's 8.
8. That's crazy. First of all, second of all, just how does your role not your role on the field but off the field? How does it evolve each year? Is it do you take on a little more, whether it's leadership or just example, or I don't know.
Kind of just look at it for what it is. Even whenever I was a rookie, I wanted to be a leader one day. I wanted to just do my best for the team, and with that come with a bigger role. And I guess that's just how it pretty much played out at this point. So don't really put a title on it. I just be me, and I just want to be the best person and teammate that I can be for the guys.
You said you always wanted to be a leader. Why was that sort of in you? Do you feel like?
I just feel like if I had that type of leadership, that I was doing something good for the team.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be able to express myself in a way, actions, vocally, whatever that meant. But just seeing the guys that I've watched along the way, it was only right because it's the people that I had in my corner. So.
I kind of get the sense that your leadership style is like really one-on-one. Is that fair? And,
Yeah.
And I guess it's probably intentional to do it that way, right?
Yes. It's kind of like not the best look to me, I guess, if you only say something around, authority or, coaches or whatever. So I find it better and a better relationship with teammates if you were to pull a guy to the side to say, XYZ, and tell me how you feel about that. Like, what's your explanation of whatever it is? And that's pretty much like you gain a lot more respect doing it that way rather than, around everybody else.
Kenny
When you
being
look
the
at the
leader.
depth of this defensive line, what does that do for you in the secondary?
It creates opportunities for turnovers to get the offense the ball, and then we have the green light to play a little aggressive in the back end off of, it's not going to be a pump fake this time. He's actually throwing it, so we can start attacking the ball from there and not really hesitate on, whether or not the quarterback, whether or not he's going to get the ball out or not. If he doesn't want to get sacked as many times, so he's going to get the ball out. That just creates that chemistry to, we're working off the D-line, and we'll just go from there.
Kenny, being the leader that you are, what do you set as the expectation for this group? You got Dallas back, working back healthy. Now Juju, Jalen, they have another year under the belts. Is where this group needs to be when you guys conclude minicamp to be where you need to be to start?
That's a great question. Just banking experiences. Anything that we got hit on last year, try to minimize that best as possible. You know, we had a lot of guys with first-year experience last year, and so you couldn't really do anything about it because they haven't seen it before, whether it's tempo, adjustments, motions. So now they're kind of getting the feel of it. Obviously going through walkthrough right now, they got a lot more time with, you know, everything with the draft going on and stuff. So just today I was telling Juju and Jalen, like, I see growth already. And that's just from having meetings and being able to correlate from meetings to class in the grass, which is walkthrough. And it felt good about it. I felt good about it. So from there, I just feel like we can just ascend. And that's exciting to the entire group. I think that creates self-confidence, not only to me, but for them as well.
Kenny, along that line, what's your impression been as brief as it's been with AR and seeing him back in the building and back throwing a football?
Energy, obviously energy that really wasn't there last year. Obviously he wasn't on the field.
Okay.
But just seeing him in the training room, you know, prepping for practice or prepping for meetings or whatever, just seeing him around and lively. So
So energy's a thing.
Right.
I mean,
Kenny, what do you remember about that year 2 leap you made, and you see Juju and Jalen kind of making the same strides?
It's different from my story than theirs. I had a different defense my second year. We had basically clear house in 2018, and you know, you're pretty much playing with, I don't know, I guess new pieces. But what was similar about myself and their story, you're playing with pretty much the same guys from my rookie year to second year. So I think that's what it's all about. I think it's about people and having that chemistry of like how aggressive this corner is going to play it, or how passive this corner is going to play it, and really just tying the two together on each side, or what's going to be our communication.
Kenny, oh, sorry, you know?
Yeah, good.
Sorry. I feel like you made your mark early in your career by, you know, getting hands on the football, making big plays, and splash plays, and 2022 was tough for everybody, but it feels like you kind of got back to that to a degree last year. Do you feel that, and is that something you think can become regular again for you?
I mean,
which is not to say you don't have
the last thing we
otherwise.
saw was my 2023 season, so I don't know why 2022 should come back to it.
No, I'm saying you got back to it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Last year, yeah.
We know that.
Right.
Kenny, when you look at what Dallas has went through, get a chance to catch up with them, what do you see in him from a confidence standpoint? And maybe what do you, like, I guess, how does he see himself in that room? Because I feel like he's holding it.
Dallas is a Division II guy. That's a great question. That's just instilled in guys that go D2. It's a different type of ground, different type of chip on his shoulder. So I know Dallas. He just want to be as a corner. You want to be the corner. Like, you want to be the guy. So just having that D2, that corner mentality is a fire burning, and I like it. I think as a coach or as a teammate, you want guys that love football. You want guys that have that fire burning to do their best for the team, and Dallas got that. He has the confidence and mentality to really raise the level. So and I like that. That's something that Rock had that I really like, to move the room in a certain way without even saying anything. But yeah, he has that swagger about him that he's the guy.
Kenny Moore is such a thoughtful, interesting guy, and EJ Speed is so entertaining and conversant. Really a pleasure to talk to both of those guys, and more importantly, to listen to both of those guys. They're both going to be counted on, not to talk, but to play and to defend really, really well this year. 28th in points against last year and the year before, and all those guys are returning. How are they going to answer the challenge to improve over that mark?